it is a rare thing to even know how to, one, possess the knowledge, but also know how to articulate it in a way that is understood. So that's a completely separate skill set. And what I'm referring to is, if I was in that experience, the reason it's so easy to disarm, let's say she's like, I'm like, not just like, okay, take her hand off. Okay, all right, don't do that again. And then I just continue. And she said, okay.
Yep.
But it's not a, let me drive, bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Exactly. It's more of
right. I hear all the time women will tell me, he says, I stop him from a man. Why can't you let me be a man? I'm like, if he's asking that question, it's the wrong question. No man should ever ask the question, why don't you let me be a man? Because nobody can let you be a man. You either a man or you're a man.
You're not, right. And so
if she ain't letting you be a man, it's because you ain't being a man. Period.
And to add to that, because when you were talking about it, a story came to mind. Airplane. I won't go into detail, but I learned a lot in that short period of time. And
stepping up.
And one of the things was something was shared with me. It was like, because the person was actually coming from meeting with someone, and so it was I was hearing, this is a very common thing, right? Where you run into something that's abnormal and you're hearing a lot of the complaints.
Yep.
Right, and I'm like, what are your thoughts on this? And it was a text of more or less, can you let me lead? Like, kind of thing. And it was sad and amusing at the same time, because here I am trying to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And there's no problem falling leads here, right? And because they can detect it immediately. It's not something you can request, because even if she adheres to it, it's not really adhering to it. It's just more like, just to shut him up. I'm really going to be leading in the low key, but I don't want to be lonely, so I'll let him feel like he's a man. And it's a very different thing when she's like, oh, my man.
And women will even say that. They'll even say, I'll just let him think da-da-da-da-da.
So that made me think of that when you were talking about, I was like, again, because we're on the plot, I won't go into too much the end for time, but yeah, like very real examples of that. And it does not take a ton of demonstration, depending on the level of groundedness you are. All it took was oh shit. And she verbally said, like, don't you get nervous around stuff like this? And I thought about it, like, no. And I genuinely thought about it. I was like, yeah, I don't really get jittery or stuff like that.
And that gave him space to be calm.
Right.